Hello, I'm Dr. James Bogash. I'm the author of the articles on modernhealthmyths.com, and today we're going to have a brief talk about toxicity. The amount of chemicals that we're exposed to in today's environment is legendary. If we had enough money to check your bloodstream, it's likely that we would find hundreds upon hundreds of different chemicals running through your bloodstream that have an effect on your body, on your brain, on your overall health, on your cells' ability to generate energy. DDT has not been in use since the 70s. Most people still have some degree of DDT derivatives floating around in their bloodstream. It's a little scary. So what you need to do is be aware of some of the most extreme or most common exposures. BPA is probably top of the list. That's the bisphenol A. It is found in plastics, and you have to be careful with plastics in general because the BPA-free ones replace bisphenol A with bisphenol D and bisphenol S, which likely have the same type of health effects. But now, from a marketing standpoint, you just bought their BPA-free product. I always steer people towards stainless steel or glass for that reason. Stainless steel if you've got kids and you don't want them to drop it. Here at our house, we have the stainless steel restaurant pitchers that we keep our organic, unflavored iced tea in. So BPA is in a lot of different things. Our plastics, it's in a lot of our food liners. Thermal register receipts, and the more you handle those, the more of a problem that is. Already mentioned the can liners. So we need to be very careful and do our best to avoid those exposures when we can. Another very common exposure are heavy metals, things like lead, cadmium, aluminum. A lot of that comes from the dust. So making sure that you are taking your shoes off at the door, making sure that you have an air cleaner. And a lot of us, especially here in Arizona, rely on the HVAC, the air conditioning filters. But in a time, especially now when we're in the spring phase in Arizona, people aren't running their air nearly as much. So we have HEPA air filters in our bedroom, my son's bedroom, and in the family room that are constantly filtering out as much dust as we can possibly get out, because those usually bear gifts in the form of heavy metals that now have an effect on our health. Another common exposure are non-stick. So your Teflon type materials and cooking materials, especially as those pots and pans get older, more and more of that PTFE starts to come off of the Teflon, well known to cause thyroid problems, probably top of the list, fertility problems. So you need to make sure that you are using stainless steel cookware. I'm a little leery about the new ceramics that they have. There's still some coatings on that. Still, it's just best we've had a stainless steel set for 8-9 years without any real issues. Another heavy exposure are flame retardants in our clothing, in our furniture, in especially our kids' our dog beds. If you have pets, those beds are because we really don't want our clothing to burst into flames, which happens all the time apparently, enough that we need to coat the clothes that we wear and the furniture that we sit on in chemicals so that it doesn't burst into flame, because you're far more likely to die from bursting into flame than you are cancer. Doesn't really make any sense to me. Another very common exposure, phthalates or fragrances. A lot of fragrances that we use in candles, in oils, not essential oils, but in oils, fragrances in our laundry detergent, in our pet fresh stuff you put on the carpet, that new car smell, all comes from a chemical compound called phthalates, which are known to increase the rates of certain cancers, infertility, and obesity as well. So we need to make sure that we're avoiding fragrances or sticking with either phthalate-free fragrances, which they are starting to make, or essential oil-based products to make sure that you're not being exposed to those. If you want to learn more about the chemicals you're exposed to, you can read my blog article on toxicity.